Welcome back to Modern Mommies here on tweettalk.tv, coming at you live every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central. I am your co-host, Alexis Ann Moore, mommy of a beautiful 3-year-old boy and creator of the self-empowerment children's philosophy class, Superhero Children. Yeah. And with me, I've got my lovely co-host, Jennifer Perry, who has been in the public school system for 17 years, is now a school counselor, and has 3 beautiful children. Hi, Jennifer.
Hello.
Hello. And I've got the wizard himself, the wizard of Soul Garden, Christopher Witecki, here with us.
Namaste. Thanks.
Sitting in as our token daddy. I've got 2 guests with us today to discuss some really important topics. We've got Christine Salazar, who is I guess you'd say she's an expert student of natural healing and all things related. And we've got Christina Barnhart, who is definitely she is an expert student of immune disease and all things related there, which is really cool. Welcome our guests, and I'm so glad to have you here as we get into our hot topic. But first, everybody, I have a big announcement. It's my own hot topic. I got high-speed internet.
Wow.
Yay!
Retrograde.
Did you notice?
Too good.
Earlier, I was interrupting
10 years later.
So excited. I had clear, and they're gone, and now I got this high-speed, so yay. All right.
Yes.
That's my hot topic.
She's a wired hot mommy now.
Woo!
Yes.
So we're moving up here on Modern Mommies, and that brings me to our incredibly dynamic hot topic of the week, and this is actually going to be something we're going to be bringing back again and again for the next few weeks at least. So with all that said, Jennifer, why don't you introduce our hot topic this week?
Okay. We are going to talk about Ebola. It's everywhere, all over the news. You can't scroll through Facebook without seeing it. And what I've really noticed is we're from Texas, and it's right here in our own backyard. I live in at McKinney, which is about 20 minutes from Dallas. And so that first case, Texas Presbyterian Hospital, is like 20 minutes from my house. My secretary at school, her son lives in the same apartment complex as the second nurse that came down with Ebola. And so it's like right here, breathing down our necks. We've got some schools closing, just all kinds of things. So I thought that it would be really interesting today to kind of talk about Ebola and everything that's out there, and you know, everybody's input and what they're kind of thinking about it too.
So is everyone out there walking around with bird flu masks, Jennifer? Like, what's it like there in Texas?
I'm not seeing a lot of that, but last week when I was driving through our neighborhood, there was somebody walking who had a mask on. And so I was like,
But that could have been a Halloween mask. No, I was kidding.
No, it was a surgical mask. It really was. But, you know, it made me wonder, because Christina, my friend, is here. I Facebooked her, and I said, hey, is it airborne? Is it not airborne? Because there's so many mixed messages out there. You don't even really know what you can believe right now.
So, yeah, you sent me a link, and I've had on my personal Facebook page, I've been having my friends send me links of any scare story they can find, and there's so much stuff you can't tell what's real and what's not. But you sent me a link, Jennifer, for one about the quarantine of the small town in Texas, and about how it's being blacked out by the media, and people were getting kind of freaked out about that. Lots of places saying it's true, lots of places saying it's not true. I called Purdon, Texas. I called Purdon, Texas.
Good girl. Good girl.
No business. There is no business in Purdon, Texas. I found a water treatment plant, and I called a water treatment plant, and it was a little old lady, and she said, Purdon, Texas is the size of a post office, and that's it. And it is not quarantine. It's a bad joke, and people have been calling this poor woman from across the country all week nonstop, and she is...
Wow. There you go. Internet legend, just like last week.
Yes.
Yep.
Huh, interesting. Well, that's good to know. I was frightened there.
Yeah.
Something pretty crappy there.
I mean, like 5 people in Purdon, Texas would be like maybe the employees of the post office.
Wow. Yeah, well, it must have been small. Well, that's okay. So so what is the general feeling out there, girls? All of you are in Texas.
There, I think it's kind of back and forth. Like we had a student who wants to check out a school for 2 weeks to go to West Africa or wherever it is, and it was really interesting to see around my workplace. I need to be careful when I say that.
Yeah, be careful.
The different reactions of people, because some people went into pure panic mode, and they were like, "Those kids can't go to Africa and then come back to our school. What happens if something happens to me?" And then other people were kind of like, "Oh, well, it won't matter. You're making a big deal out of nothing." And so it's really crazy to see the differences in opinions from different people.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's what I see a lot.
They say there's a 50-50 percent or a 50-50 chance of fatality here in the States, and I personally feel, from an intuitive sense, that that is based on your belief system. So, you know, you can believe that your body is powerful and can fight any of this, basically this viral parasite that's just trying to hang out, and you can fight it, or you can give up. That's just my feeling.
Mm-hmm.
What does Christina? What do you have to say about this?
Well, so you know, the news is trying to keep everybody calm. So everything they say is the dumbed down version of the truth. So, and it's only the half truth. So basically, if you catch Ebola, it's a 90% mortality rate. No matter what you believe, you're not going to survive that disease without the drugs that we don't have anymore. They apparently used all the drugs that they had on the first 2 patients, and then the rest of the drugs have disappeared. I wonder where they went, but those are the only drugs that, I mean, if you get it, you're 90% chance of dying. Your body cannot clear that infection on its own.
Christina, do you know? I'm just curious what the drug is. It is some super-powered antibiotic.
No, it's basically it's called ZMapp, and it's really hard to explain in layman's terms because it's a genetic process in which you take a plant, and it's a biotech company in Kentucky, and they used the tobacco plant, which is a very good plant for doing this ZMapp process on, and they basically you can Google it and see the ZMapp process if you want, but they, through a series of experiments, they have made antibodies. They have that plant expressing antibodies against that infection, that strain of Ebola. So this is not the Ebola Zaire strain. This is a new strain. So that drug was able to cure Dr. Brantley and the nurse from the infection. Without that drug, they probably would have died.
I have a question for you, Christina. Sorry. Christina, and Christopher are here with us today, and my tongue needs a break a little bit. So, Christina,
Yes.
you just said that it's a new strain, and I have a friend who is a wacky character of a guy, but he has been studying these types of diseases since he was a kid out of fascination, and that was back in the 70s. And he was talking about Ebola back in the 70s and how it mostly stayed in the jungle because those people didn't actually make it out of the jungle. And I'm just wondering, because as you said, they've been dumbing down the news, and that might seem to be working, but really people are starting to feel like we're being lied to. So the dumbing down in the news isn't really helping. It's making us look elsewhere, and then we find all this stupid information. So
that's their strategy. They want they put things out on the website too. You know, the other side, the bad side does too, and they infiltrate the website with all kinds of conspiracy theories as well to keep us confused and thinking we know, and you just have to kind of filter through that to find the truth. And it's really hard to figure out what to believe with something like this if you don't have a strong science background in your adult life. Because then you don't know how viruses and bacteria work in the body, the different types of. Even if you do understand a virus, you know there are different strains. The one in the 70s was Ebola Zaire. That one. How did this new one come about? How do viruses mutate all the time?
I'm
IVs
wondering if it
everywhere.
has
They
to be,
always mutate. So
if
just
it's
because they mutate doesn't mean it's bad and it's going to hurt us, but it could.
is there any chance that the strain that's out now has been altered by humans, is what I'm wondering.
Well,
Like, could they have taken
you
all the
know,
stories that we heard from back then, and then the book, The Hot Zone, and then just kind
yeah,
of
yeah. I
created
mean,
our...
it's very, very possible. And if it is the case, then it's not the first time that they've done this. I mean, they did this with Lyme disease. So that is a human manufactured disease. Structurally, nothing close to it exists in nature. So,
No
you
kidding.
know,
Lyme disease.
yeah.
Wow, I have a friend
So,
who's been suffering from that. That is just shitty. Go ahead.
so that would be the
Wow.
one to be more worried about, frankly. I mean, that's a very long, slow death of about 30 years in complete pain with absolutely no cure and nothing to relieve it. That's the one I would be more concerned about. At least with the Ebola, you don't suffer for very long.
Now,
Yeah, no kidding. It's pretty quick. Listeners,
about that 90% rate, I read an article about a woman in Liberia who could not get any help for her family for over a week. So it was her only family. 3 of her family members had Ebola, and so she stripped the room and sealed off the room, and then bought a box full of raincoats and wore like 4 sets of gloves and all of this, had herself completely covered from head to toe, big plastic bags over her legs, and took care of her family. And she had some medicines there. I think it was that her dad was was either a doctor or working in the hospital, so she had access to some medicines. I think I read that she used even an AIDS autoimmune, some kind of medication that's normally used on an AIDS patient. So she had medication there, and she treated her family, and one of them died, and it was the young boy. There was a young boy, and it just broke her heart. But she was, for the week that she couldn't get anyone there, she was able to treat them and not get it herself. And it was I guess, 33% rate there on death.
So that's interesting.
That's
She used
amazing.
HIV medicine, and maybe it worked. Does that make sense, Christina? Is that true?
It could. Really, the only way really what you have to do is make sure that everybody stays hydrated. So having an IV is almost as important as having any kind of drug, because you have to stay hydrated. When you start having, massive diarrhea, then you lose all your body fluid. You end up just dying of that, and then your lungs they basically melt. All of your organs it's a hemorrhagic fever. You start bleeding, and all your fluids start coming out of all of your holes in your body. So, if you can stop that late, that's the last process. If you can stop that and stay hydrated, and the children cannot handle it at all. They dehydrate so much faster than adults.
She did put in an IV drip, which I'm not thinking people would normally have at home, but she did.
That
Holy crap, that
woman
woman was prepared.
She said
she was.
Get that modern mommy on TV. Man.
Right.
Awesome. She is awesome.
Yeah,
Like Uganda.
Hey everybody, her name is Fatu Kekula from Liberia. Fatu, you are awesome.
Yeah, you rock, man.
That's kick-ass, man.
She's feeling the weight of the child on her, because it was a family member's child that she was caring for.
Oh God, poor lady.
But she,
shit.
She didn't sleep for a week because they were all sick, and she said she did not feel tired one time because it was her family. But so that brings me to Christina. Amazing. We are going to. I'm sorry. Here I go.
Christina with a CH.
The other one.
Okay, Christine. We're going to be talking about ways to boost our immune system, and I know a lot about healing, but maybe I don't know much about viruses versus germs like colds. I'm not really sure, but I do know lots of ways to get your family's immune system up for cold, flu, Ebola season.
Oh God, that's so bad.
Great title.
So for me, what I've got, and I'm going to run through them real quick because I really want to hear from Christine on this, is food. Okay, so we've got yogurt and kefir. I can't ever say that. They have probiotics. Probiotics go into your gut, which is where most of your immune system is, and they boost your healthy bacteria, and that's really great. You got to have a healthy digestive system to have a really strong immune system. We've got, let's see, walnuts are high in omegas. My son eats walnuts all the time, and hemp is high in omegas. They're really good for you. And let's see, what else? Fruits and veggies, of course, and then, fruits and veggies, really, vitamin C. But listen, parents, when you're doing the fruits and veggies, make sure that you add some fat. Like, that would be a good time to throw in the walnuts because that helps you absorb your vitamins and minerals. So coconut oil, walnuts, whatever, fat. Butter is good for you, okay? Do it, a lot of it. Bone broth, okay? If you're vegetarian, I'm sorry, but bone broth is where it's at. But get on Pinterest or get on, I can't remember the name of the website, but there's this amazing website that I spoke about a few shows back when we were talking about healing our teeth, like with diet. I can't remember the guy's name. Anyway, bone broth. Go find some recipes and do that. And then I've got this one product I absolutely love, and I want Christine to tell us about it. The Oxy powder. Are you there, Christine?
Yeah, Oxy powder.
Yeah.
Well, I think for us in our household, we have more of a philosophy as to what we're doing, and that philosophy is that it's so important to keep the colon and the intestine cleansed, because that is where we absorb most of our nutrients and our vitamins from all these healthy foods. So if you're coming from a place where you didn't have the best of diets and, McDonald's and fast foods and this stuff, unless you cleanse the small and large intestine, you're kind of not really getting the whole benefit if you started eating healthy with a dirty inside, so to speak. So for us, and even with Zen, we've been cleansing her since she was in the womb. Things that I ate. Cravings sometimes weren't always the best choices, but they happened. But I would cleanse, and I didn't have a lot of problems like constipation and things like that through my pregnancy, especially the third trimester when it's the worst. Didn't get sick, stayed healthy, and with Zen, that's what we focus on, is cleansing the major organs, the liver, the kidneys. We use Oxy powder for the intestinal cleansing. It also keeps the digestive tract clean.
Okay, so everybody, Oxy powder is it's an oxygen-based
intestinal cleanser.
Intestinal cleanser. It's in these little pills, little capsules, and I take 3 because I'm kind of bashful, but take 3 to 5, I guess. And
yeah, it just depends. Everyone's different. Me personally, I love the stuff, so I'm like an 8-pill girl. It's the only product on the market that's been clinically tested. Like, even though it's not FDA approved, which no supplements are, Dr. Group, who formulated it, had those done, and they found no side effects, and you could safely take up to like 20 pills with no problems.
I put some in my son's juice. He had a stomach bug a few months ago, and it lasted for half a day instead of 2 or whatever. I just put 1 capsule in his juice, and he drank it, and he was fine. By the way, everybody, it's from Global Healing Center.
Okay.
Yeah, Global Healing Center. Dr. Group, you'll find a lot of information about him. Some people think he's a little radical, but having had worked with him so closely, I understand like the method to his madness, and it makes sense, and his methods have kept my family healthy. At age 30, I was literally dying. I had pancreatic problems. I was in the hospital in the ER, and just like going through all this stuff. And a girlfriend of mine introduced me to Oxy powder. Her mom did. And this was before I worked with Dr. Group. Took it, started doing the cleanses, and my entire health just did a 360. And so I was no longer borderline diabetic. I just don't have any of those issues. And my thyroid at 40 is completely normal, but at 30 it was completely out of whack. So
And
following the cleansing methods definitely works. And he has a whole, like, 7-step program, but oxy powder is by far the best.
oxy powder.
Mhm.
Yep. So
Very
Global
cool.
Healing Center. I'm going to say this really quickly. That personally, I'm an intuitive. I'm reading people's vibes. I've been doing since I was a child. But so here's the deal with Dr. Group. Dr. Group is kind of wacko on his, and I mean this in the kindest, most respectful way. But no, like his need to have the best, to do the best, and like the best of everything. If he does not have the best possible ingredient for something, he will discontinue the line. He is neurotic about it being the best, and so because of that, I love his stuff.
I would use the word obsessive, maybe not wacko. Obsessive. This is the executive producer of this series.
Well,
There you go.
he's a like a mad scientist about it.
Okay.
He is. Absolutely. I've been around the office and around the lab during those times. Yeah, time to call in and use my sick days. It's a little crazy around the office, but he's passionate about what he's doing and what he believes in, and down to the point what a lot of people don't know about his products is that he developed a method called spagyrics, and it's the way that the bottle or the liquids are created, and it's literally done into like a circular, because he believes in this positive energy that is actually created and creates makes the formulas better.
No, that's
So it's the energy. Yeah, it's all energy.
Structure is when the water molecules spiral. That's the same form it has in nature, because the pipes, 90-degree pipes that we shove our water through, completely wax out our molecular structure of our water. Yep. So it's actually sick by the time it gets to us. But when you spin it, that brings it back to its vibrant thing. That's really
right.
Cool. Well, hey.
Yeah.
Real quick. One of the reasons I really wanted to be here is I wanted to share some of the things with other moms that during the winter months when kids get the most ill, was that we cut back on dairy products during that time, because dairy causes a lot of mucus buildup, and so when you're sick, germs and stuff likes to attach to that, and it just makes it tougher on the child to kind of fight through all the yuckiness that all their friends have on top of their own immune system. And after talking to my mom, who has a bachelor's in nursing, and she deals with pediatrics, and she's also a respiratory therapist, taught me about keeping the lungs dry and being mindful of those things when it comes to your child during the winter time, because the drier you can, the less susceptible they are to getting sick and crashing right away. Like a lot of kids get these flu and they just crash. But for Zen, we cut back the dairy, we increase a lot of the protein, we increase the iodine intake. We do give her iodine, nascent iodine every other day. And then liquid vitamins. We give her Intrakids. It's pretty pricey, but it's an excellent, excellent vitamin. So those are some of the things that we do. And then there's also this other stuff that I got to tell you guys about. It's called ASAP Gel. And it is a colloidal silver gel. And it sanitizes your hands for 4 hours. And it's excellent. Doesn't dry them out. But it's really good for the yucks when you're out in public.
Christine, I was curious about that. I mean, about colloidal silver.
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Sorry, Christopher.
Well, no, I was just curious about colloidal silver in general. This whole Ebola thing. And we lost Christine at the moment. We have the other Christine. But how effective colloidal silver might be to it.
They're saying, from what I'm understanding in Dr. Group, listening to him, he's also been on Alex Jones. And the FDA has been confiscating certain companies' colloidal silver by the hordes, not just going and saying, they're literally shutting people down.
No
so Dr.
kidding.
Group, right, and so there's a part of me that really believes it's the Ebola, because there's just things that don't make sense. But colloidal silver, depending on where you get it from, I would definitely get it from Global Healing Center or from the ASAP company that I just told you about, that colloidal silver gel. And both both of those companies make a really good brand. Even Dr. Group, who's really picky about his own, approves of the other brand as well. So if you can get it, Zen, we've been giving it to her twice a week, just a little cupful. She's a little bit bigger, a little bit more weight than maybe a toddler. So you kind of just make that judgment. But when it comes to natural herbs, you just have to know that your kid's not going to OD. So you're safe. You can give them a little bit, extra oxy powder, help them flush during the winter months, especially on the weekends. Just let them run wild. Just do it. Have them go to the potty.
Hey,
do it on the weekend.
Party, woo!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but definitely, colloidal silver's hot, and so unfortunately, I see it starting to disappear. Even Dr. Group is having a hard time. Global Healing Center keeping it in stock. It was out of stock for 2 months because they just couldn't keep it stocked fast enough. And Alex Jones is selling it, and he's working with Dr. Group on that, and he's selling out by the thousands of bottles a week. It's something to pay attention to.
We need
when I asked
you can make your own. We should teach people how to make their own. You can make your own.
Yeah, when I asked
or something, a machine, I think.
Yeah, there's little devices out there where you can make your own. That Christine, thanks for sharing it. That's a long
Yeah, no problem.
Christine is amazing at this topic, so I'm so glad you were able to join us, Christine. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, I can only really share what I do with my kid, and it's successful. Yeah, and I get really nerdy about that, and I want everyone to have that same success because I don't deal with colds. One of the other things, one of my favorite tricks is hydrogen peroxide, putting in a few drops in their water. And your nebulizers, when they are sick, put hydrogen peroxide. Dr. Group says to only use the one that is a Walgreens brand at 3%. That's the one he only uses. Dr. Group buys out, Walgreens brand. And I forgot how they formulate it, but he knows the formulation and highly recommends it. If you're going to do that, use the Walgreens brand hydrogen peroxide, 3%.
3%, you say? Because I always think 1%.
Yeah, no, the 3% is because he said for kids in those nebulizers, you can use the 3%. And it's awesome. It really works a lot. And there's no steroids, so you're not putting, what is it, albuterol, I think it's called. Yeah.
It's like 3 drops in your water. You can drink it. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can put it up your nose, anything.
Yeah. As an adult, you could probably do 5 or 6, but with the kiddos, I'd probably stick to 3 to 4.
That's good to know. Hey, also grown-ups out there, my son, until he started preschool, which was the week after we did the piece on healthy, vibrant food, and I said my son's never sick. He started school, and he has not. He's been sick ever since that show. Today was a stomach bug. Hey, that's awesome. But I will say that what keeps him healthy normally, when he's not covered in the paws of 20 sick kids, is eating all of those things I mentioned. He eats like blueberries, walnuts, and toast with coconut oil for breakfast. So take the sugar out, all right? Start the morning with vibrant living foods and oils and protein. And think of it as you're jamming their body full of nutrition and sustenance for the day, because that's the most important time. Please don't give them sugar cereal. And also don't give them sugar cereal and expect them to stay healthy, because it's just not good math.
Yeah.
Or stay calm.
Exactly.
Yeah. Brings us to sugar-free Halloween. Yay! Yeah, right? I was I wasn't an uncool mom. My son's birthday is right before Halloween, so we had a Halloween party. Christine, you were there, so you can attest my awesome Halloween spread. I had the snack bar was Pinterest style. So, Christopher, do we have any pictures of that? Let's see, maybe the thick pumpkin guacamole.
Let's see what we got here. I've got Ebola. Let's see, guacamole.
I'm so
Here we go.
excited about this.
This is my pumpkin. This was like basically our centerpiece, and as gross as it looks, it's not eaten up. It was eaten up. So that was fun. I asked my son if he liked it at the end of the party, and he just threw his arms around my neck tight. He couldn't even talk. Like, he loved it so much. He's really into it.
Yes.
Okay.
I have to take something to school next week, some sort of appetizer, and I'm going to do that.
Super easy.
Yes,
oh my God.
I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm totally going to do that.
Hey, use organic chips because GMO is not cool. So, unfortunately, corn chips are GMO unless you specify organic. So, make that distinction. But the guacamole is great because avocados are a superfood. So, have at it. All right. Here we have my adorable little pumpkin oranges. Aren't they so cute?
Yes.
Pinterest win. The kids ate them up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the next one was kind of a win, kind of a fail for me. Oh, no, that's not it. Those are the gift bags.
I didn't realize there was an order. So you'll have to give me a little verbal clue here.
See, I did in my email.
I'm sorry, Virgo Rising.
All right, those gummy worms. Let me tell you about these gummy worms.
Oh, the gummy worms. Okay, let's find the gummy worms. Here they are.
Okay, that's what they're supposed to look like, okay? And they do the next day. The kids wouldn't eat mine. If you saw the picture of them on the scale plate, they looked spooky. They looked real. I didn't let them set long enough, and the kids wouldn't even taste them because they looked real.
How did you make those? What is that?
Don't they look real? It's so creepy.
Yeah, Zen was a little freaked out. She's like, Mom, it's brains. I don't want to eat that.
Okay, so I will call it also a win because the next day they looked awesome, and I ate them, and they tasted good. So, yay.
What is it?
Okay, there is no sugar in there. It is gelatin. Specify organic gelatin so you know you're getting really good stuff. Look at those worms. Gelatin, you can see the layers. They set the first part with a little bit of cream to show the distinction. I suggest doing that so they look more like candy and less like real worms. Okay?
You can. I just want to chime in. You can also, if you don't want to use gelatin, there's a product called agar, and it's a natural substitute for gelatin.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So agar, I don't know what the ratio would be in that. Oh, you're just showing all my pictures. That's my little pirate son on his birthday. So happy. That's my
He's so cute.
Hey, everybody, he's finally 3. I've been talking about it for like 2 months. The kid's finally 3.
Yay!
Yeah, those gummy worms, I put, it was sweetened with juice concentrate, colored with the concentrate, and some essential oil, and that's it. So I put a blog, these mummy dogs, I didn't even get a picture of my mummy dogs because before they even cooled and got to the plate, everyone walked through and grabbed like 2 each, and they were gone. So they were awesome. Cute. Super yummy, really cute, great for beating the crud out of a piñata. It was. I put all of these and links to the Pinterest or whatever on the Pinterest or the websites on my blog. So find that on the super blog on soulgarden.tv. And that is a very bad picture of my awesome gift bags. So the gift bags had finger puppets, a big plastic spider, a spider ring, an organic lollipop ghost, and a glow-in-the-dark skeleton. And the kid.
Cool.
And a glow-in-the-dark skeleton.
I'm trying to see him in the back.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I wish you were one of my friends' mommies.
Thank you, because honestly, this is not my skill set. So.
What? This was amazing. This is like.
Yeah, it's really good.
I look kind of badass. Not my skill set. Pinterest. Okay.
They have amazing things.
Dig it.
Interesting. Well, yay, Pinterest. That's some good tips there.
Yep. So let's see here. What about costumes? Because I might look like I have crafty skills on the food line, but I don't have any crafty skills with costumes. What do you have for us, Jennifer?
Okay, I went and tried to find a couple of ideas for costumes that you could do really quick and really easily because I can't really sew and I don't have tons of time at all.
Oh.
Yes, look, okay, this is a cupcake costume. It's made from a laundry basket, and then you go and you get tulle, and then you get cardstock, and you fold the cardstock in an accordion style, and then just glue it around the laundry basket, cut the bottom of the laundry basket out, and then take the tulle and tie it on one end of the laundry basket, and then tie it to the other end to kind of make it fluff up, to make the little frosting, and then take a piece of tulle and wrap it around your neck, and you have a cupcake.
Wow.
Yeah, and really super easy. I could even do that. That wasn't hard at all.
Right, I could too. Wow, that's cool.
Another one I don't have a picture of this one, but you could be an X-ray machine. Oh, okay, no, I'll do the jelly beans. That's cool.
Okay.
The jelly bellies.
Cue them in here.
So easy. It was a garbage bag, and they just cut a hole out at the bottom for her legs, blew up balloons, stuffed it with balloons, tied it around her neck, and printed off the jelly bean symbol from her colored printer and put it on there.
That is
and you could be a bag. Mm-hmm.
Super
so
creative.
Easy.
Then her father should have dressed up as Ronald Reagan. I'm chasing after her eating Jelly Bellies. That's a good
that would be cute.
He was a Jelly Belly freak. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next one in the line here.
Okay, I've got pizza. And
they went.
You in the food costumes.
I was hungry, I guess. Hey, you took my X-ray machine.
No. So cute pizza boy.
And it was just, they went to Michael's and got like that foam board, which is like, it's like poster board, but it's got kind of that foam backing on it. It's really cheap. You can get a piece for like $5. And they folded it over, cut it in a triangle, cut a neck out, and those little pieces are felt. You could get felt, you could get fabric, you could get paper, and they just did them in the little shapes of the cheese and the pepperoni and glued them on there and had them wear brown pants.
I mean, that would be fun to get the kid to help you with. Like, get your kid to help you with. Wow.
Mm-hmm. That would be way fun.
Finally used for those Kinko khakis.
Hey. Check out his little foot, too. What a cute little model. Aw.
I know, he was so cute.
Okay, what other late night munchy food do you have for us? Oreos.
Yes.
Oh my God,
I was hungry.
Oh my God, I think like Hansel and Gretel, kids are in danger in your house. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have this idea of dressing kids up like food. I don't know.
I'm thinking oxy powder all the way right now. Sorry,
go ahead. So healthy, isn't it? After we boost our immune, we're gonna kill it with like pizza and Oreos and candy. Yes. Okay, the Oreo cookies. It was just poster board, and you could paint it black, or you could get black or brown poster board, and you could print off the Oreo design off of the computer, glue it on there. You punch 2 little holes at the top of the circles, get a shoelace to connect them, and then it just goes right over your neck, and you can wear white, like a turtleneck and white sweats or white leggings, and you're an Oreo.
How did she get the ornate Oreo cookie print there? I wonder.
She went and she went to the Oreo site and blew it up, and then just made it out of a stencil and kind of copied it. There was also ways that you could have it printed off and just put it on there, like glue it on there or something like that. Or if you're really crafty, I'm not, you could paint something like that on there. There's no way I would be able to do that.
Not me.
Yeah, I'd have to print it off.
Plus, also, it's unfortunate because it's so dark when you go out trick-or-treating, so it's like, will anyone see your innate Oreo
That's
cookie
your
work?
decoration. Okay, I have one more that's not food.
Hey!
I don't have a picture of it.
Oh, okay, I was panicking there.
No, it's an X-ray machine. And what you do is you just get a box, cut your neck out. You can paint it black or cover it with black paper. Go to the dollar store and get one of those hanging paper skeletons, that glow, lots of them glow in the dark, and just take off the neck, glue it on the front of the box, and then wear like black leggings and black long sleeve t-shirt, and you're an X-ray machine.
Interesting.
Excellent.
And super pretty. And those glow in the dark, those are kind of fun. The kids like those.
And for me, I'd have go ahead.
It's that's a safety thing too. Get like glow in the dark wristbands, whatever, paint the bottom of the shoes or something.
something, yeah.
Yep.
Absolutely. Mm.
Hey,
So
one
can
more. No, Christopher, I want to hear what.
I just think that the boy in me would put little concealed weapons and things in there, and like my lost watch would be under the rib cage, things like that.
That would be funny.
If my son heard you, he'd be thinking, "You get me."
I do get your boy.
My sweet, loving lamb has so many weapons right now. Foam and plastic weapons, swords specifically, that I now have to create something to hold them all.
Oh.
That's where we're at. But he's a gentle lion. It is the weirdest thing. I just don't get it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey,
All kids.
Parents that also want to avoid sugar, I always like to give out the honey sesame candies because they're sweet and also they don't have sugar. But when out trick-or-treating, I hear there's this new thing where parents are painting their pumpkin teal or blue to show that they have non-sugar treats or toys. So look out for that. And if you see them, please message us on our Modern Mommies Facebook page and let us know if that's actually a thing that's happening so that people will start doing it more because it's kind of cool, I think.
That is
Although
cool.
I can't imagine telling my kid, no, we're not going to that house or that one or that one. Let's go. That one's got a blue pumpkin,
Sorry, kids. This one has a little star on it. We can't go.
Now, my son and Christine's daughter is the only other child I know who is like, no sugar. I don't want to eat that candy. Zen, her daughter Zen, is awesome. So my son collects, it's a game, he collects all the candy, and then we take it home and trade it for, like, little plastic spider toys and things like that. I don't know where the candy goes, but he doesn't have it.
My son too. He even when he's a little boy, like growing up, I like, want some candy? No, thank you, Dad. I was like, what? Where the fuck does this kid come from? Like, not my son. Like, but like, what was interesting is he would love to go trick or treating. He would insist on getting more. It's like it's time to go home. Like it was way too heavy and stuff. It's like you can't carry it. That's natural selection. It's enough candy. And like. He would get home, wouldn't touch the candy all week. Who ate the fucking candy? Me. He would sit up there. I would just be like, oh, 2 a.m. So it's turned into
winning, conquering the street.
Right.
Well, hey, so we have we've got hot daddies coming up for sure. We missed it last week due to my technical difficulties, but hey, I got internet. I was so excited. So okay, but before we go to that, I want to go back because Christina just jumped back on, and we can actually see your face.
I'm back. Yeah, my phone died. Sorry.
Oh, that was Ebola scary. We thought something bad happened there.
Well, I ran out of the hospital to get back to my hotel as soon as possible.
It was like men in suits behind you were like, good luck.
Christina, I want to know from you how Ebola is spread. Can you share that with our viewers?
So Ebola is spread just like any other virus, bacteria. It's spread just like the flu. So when they say that it's not airborne, that's kind of a lie. The CDC has decided that when they use the term airborne in regards to a virus or a bacteria, that airborne has to mean that virus, that organism, can travel through the air without anything helping it survive or float. So no water around it. So that's what they mean by airborne. However, there are water particles all in our air. There are water particles coming out of our mouth, coming down from the clouds, and there are things that get into those water particles, and that is how Ebola travels through the air. And so if you are in a room, let's not use the word airplane because I have to be on one tomorrow. But if you are in a room that has no fan, no air conditioner, no nothing, because those really don't exist in Texas. There are always air conditioners with fans on. Then it would take an hour and a half for the Ebola particle wrapped in a water particle to settle onto a surface. And then once it settles on that surface, it takes about 2 days for it to die. So you know, that's the same with all of them. And you contract the flu the same way. Anything you touch or breathe in, you know, it can make you sick. There's no getting away from it. I really wanted to wear a surgical mask on the plane this week, and if I did, they would have pulled me out and assumed that I was the one with Ebola. So I can't do that.
My sister flew to New York with one, but she was using Ebola as an excuse because really, like, I don't know, it's often that I get off an airplane and I'm sick the next day, and you know, normally I got someone to my left who's blowing their nose like at me. I don't know what that is about.
Yeah.
So true.
That's like a petri dish.
She just didn't want to get sick from anything. So, but she's also a nursing student, and she is a trip and has really great humor. So I think she painted a mouth on it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I carry surgical masks in my bag, and I sit on the plane like this the whole time.
Christina.
I do, and most of it's because it stinks, and I don't want to breathe other people's gas. But right now, it's because of Ebola.
Oh my God. Hey,
and I wipe everything down. I have sanitary hand, like wet wipes in my bag, and I wipe everything you touch. You can get Ebola on your hands, and then how many times we touch our face 1,000 times a day. So you're gonna have Ebola all over your face. You know, you go to turn the fan off, turn the Ebola air coming out off. Now you've got whatever. Now it's on your finger. So whatever you touch, and those wet wipes, you know, that has alcohol in it, but the stuff on your hands is not dead until it's dry. So yeah, it takes a while to work.
But that's assuming that there are people with Ebola around you, and from what I'm hearing, that's not exactly something that's going on at this moment. Not
well,
something.
It seems like it's hard to. It is hard to catch. It seems like I thought otherwise, but since nobody else has gotten sick, I think that maybe it's not as. It is a little bit more difficult to catch than the flu, which is good because. Usually a virus wants to be at the top of the food chain, and its whole premise for being alive is to pass from person to person and to make everybody sick but not die, because if it dies, then it has eliminated itself from, and that's not, I mean, a virus thinks about survival of the fittest as well. It doesn't have a brain, but it operates that way. So if it kills everybody, then it also dies. So that's really not its goal. But
that's actually making me think that this is an human-altered thing going on, because it doesn't sound like natural animal instinct. You know, like the wires are tweaked. I'm a healer based off intuition, so I interrupt and I go, that makes me think whatever. But I could be completely full of it. I don't know, but I work out the details later. But also,
I have a question for Christine, if I may, and that was regarding the colloidal silver. Where a year ago we were discussing colloidal silver and whatnot, that is truly effective or not towards it.
It is effective. Right now, if you go to Global Healing. Oh, I thought you said Christine. I was going to tell you about Dr. Christine.
Oh no, I thought had his perspective too. Actually, I'm sorry.
I think that anything that you take to help yourself be healthy and help your immune system fight just that virus so that the rest of your body can continue to function is going to help your survival. Because if your whole body has to say, oh my God, we all have to go and we all have to fight this virus, then everything, all the other systems have to shut down. You know, picture it as a team. So everybody has to go fight the virus, and now nobody's left to mind the rest of the basic functions of your body. So if the rest of your body can stay, your heart can continue to beat, and your lungs can stay, you know, and continue to breathe while your immune system does its thing, then you have a higher chance of surviving.
So you're basically saying colloidal silver is immune support, but not necessarily would be effective to killing Ebola?
I haven't read anything. I don't think it would be effective in killing Ebola. I think that the only thing that can kill any virus is inside of your body is your own body, your own immune cells. There's nothing you can take unless it's an antibiotic for bacteria. For a virus, there is nothing you can take that is going to kill what is in your body. And, you know, you could take chemo. That would kill everything. But you can't, you know, the colloidal is going to help your immune cells be better at what they do.
So that's fighting the virus, right?
Yes.
Is what you're saying.
Yes.
What is the difference between a virus and bacterial thing?
Well, so a bacteria is a different organism than a virus, and a bacteria we can kill bacteria with antibiotics, and a virus we cannot kill with antibiotics. Antibiotics are completely ineffective. HIV, that is a virus. So we don't have anything. We've never been able to develop anything that can kill a virus. We have to depend on our own immune system.
So it's kind of like a like minuscule little animal creature that's just jumping from one body to the other, keeping it alive. Okay. Interesting. Hey, that reminds me, Jennifer, you were going to share with us some information about what oregano oil and beans oil?
Yeah. I did. I found some essential oils that you could use that I guess would help immune boosting and to boost your immune to help fight off, I guess, the virus better. And what I found was thieves oil, and that's a blend of a couple of different essential oils, and then oregano oil. They would fight off viruses and help boost your immune system. And also lemon oil.
Lemon oil.
Mm-hmm.
Well, lemon is vitamin C, so lemon oil would be like jam-packed with vitamin C. And oregano oil, when I have it, I think, in fact, Christopher, I might have tried to push some on you before, but I take that while I eat garlic. Anytime I'm either getting sick or think I might be, I smell like an Italian pizzeria, but it seems to work, or at least it seems to at least shorten the duration. So I guess that means it's letting my body fight. Thieves oil, sounds fascinating. I heard that it's called that because during the plague, they would put these oils like over their nose so they wouldn't smell the bodies, and so that they could touch. And it was just something about this combination of oils kept the plague from like go in and like loot the dead people in their homes. Thieves oil. It kept them.
Wow.
You know that? I'm gonna find out about thieves oil and come back next.
Yeah, well, I did see on there that it was good to help combat a cough. Sorry, I can't talk, and things like that. And you could put the oil like right under your nose or on your back to help you. I guess it maybe stimulates your lung. I don't know. Ask Christina or somebody. Maybe stimulates lungs or whatever, so you can not cough as much.
What, oregano oil? Well, oregano oil is antimicrobial. And like for the Ebola, Dr. Group is recommending that you really start dosing up on both the colloidal silver and the oregano oil blend, and taking that regularly to prepare your body. Like you're literally have to look at it as preparing your body to fight. You know, like Christina was saying, keeping the rest of your body healthy, your heart beating, your kidneys, you know, filtering, things like that is really essential into whether or not you're going to make it through a virus or you don't, especially something like Ebola. So we're definitely at home preparing for that, even though we don't feel scared or, you know, we're in any threat right now, but you never know, but we're going to be prepared. I know Zen will be.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Absolutely.
All right, so hey, mommies at home and daddies that are watching, we are going to be covering this topic a lot because we're hearing about it all the time, and Jennifer and I are doing pretty well with coming up with some really interesting information. Links, behind-the-scenes links that I want to look at further before I share some of that stuff with you. But right now I want to say, Christina and Christine, thank you so much for sharing your information on that. That was really helpful, and I really appreciate it. So without further ado, do we have a drum roll? We have this week's Hot Daddy of the Week is David Lekofowitz. I hope I said that right. David, look at this picture. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
awesome. Okay, we usually put the kids in there to get away from them. So well done, sir. I want to just read a quick message by Megan, who sent in her nomination, saying that when she was stuck at the hospital keeping her premature Liam in her body, he stayed with her every day and every night for 2 straight weeks, telling her jokes and sneaking her chilies. And then he cried when the baby was born, and that he's super supportive. He's a full-time teacher. Oh no, she's a full-time teacher, and he made her quit or told her to quit because she was not happy, and he wants her to be happy. So to her, she thinks that's awesome. So now we're talking about another hot daddy who's a stellar dad and a stellar husband. So well done.
There you go.
Yes.
Well done, David.
Yes.
So we'll be posting that and your picture all over Modern Mommies. For you mommies out there, if you have a hot daddy or if you know one, send a picture and brief reason why to our Modern Mommies Facebook page. If you haven't found it already, it's our Facebook page. Come find us and request to join, and you'll find out all kinds of information. We'll keep you posted there. So either send it there or send it to S as in Sam, or as Soul Garden, SG Modern Mommies, sgmodernmommies@gmail.com. Okay? All right. So yeah, send in those hot daddies because that's one of my favorite things. And you know what? The daddies are responding to those. So I think making them pay attention to their stellar daddiness, which is pretty cool. It's really hot to be a hot daddy. So
I want to do a hot mama segment.
Right, well, that's another show, honey.
Yeah, wrong channel, Chris.
Stupid.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, we'll put the link for the Modern Mommies Facebook page on the YouTube video here once we're done with this. Okay. All right. Also, for the question of the week, I want to see more. I'm having my friends and everyone send me links that they are seeing about Ebola, anything, whether it seems real or seems fake or anything. We're covering the fear-mongering, basically, and doing our best to go through and see what's real and what's not, or just to show, hey, look at all this stuff that's out there. How are we supposed to know? So if you find anything, send it over to the Modern Mommies on Facebook, Modern Mommies page, please. Okay?
Yes.
All right. That brings us to the end of our show this week. And like I said, we're going to be covering Ebola again next week. That is our hot topic, and that's usually a shorter segment, but it's so important and there's so much to cover. Yeah, I want to say thanks to Christine for joining us, and Christine Salazar for joining us and sharing your information.
It was fun.
Yeah, always fun. And join us anytime. And Christine Barnhart, thank you for not just joining us, for coming back. We had some important.
Yay!
Very, very sweet.
Definitely very informative. Thank you.
Jennifer and Christopher, always a pleasure hanging out with you two.
Yes, you too.
I get like a mandatory hangout with you two once a week. It's pretty cool. And all right, so until then, we're here Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Central on tweettalk.tv. And we'll see you next week. Until then, live, love, be.